You hear this story about me and Aaron Rodgers, the former quarterback for the Packers? Now, he went on a show on ESPN, the Pat McAfee show, and out of the blue insinuated that I was nervous because the list was coming out. He said I was hoping it wouldn't and that he was going to pop a bottle of something to celebrate when he did. And then it did come out, and of course my name wasn't on it. And I suggested that if Aaron wanted to make false and very damaging statements like that we should do it in court so he could share his proof with like a judge. When I do get something wrong, which happens on rare occasions, you know what I do? I apologize for it, which is what Aaron Rodgers should do, which is what a decent person would do, but I bet he won't. If he does, you know what I'll do? I'll accept his apology and move on, but he probably won't do that.
A few moments later.
I don't give a what he says about me.
What is good, Joe? We're back with the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I cannot stand Jimmy Kimmel and people like Jimmy Kimmel in general. Like, we got to talk about him again. So this is a follow-up video to my previous video. Be sure to check that out if you haven't, where Jimmy Kimmel essentially just started whining and crying like a big baby because Aaron Rodgers made a comment somewhat insinuating that Jimmy Kimmel was afraid of the list releasing. Take a look.
A lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't.
All right. How dare you? How dare you?
So because of this comment, Jimmy Kimmel has basically gone totally nuclear. He literally did like a 7 or so minute segment on his show roasting Aaron Rodgers again. The thing that didn't make sense about this and his outrage is because Aaron Rodgers literally never came out and said that I think Jimmy Kimmel is on the list. I think Jimmy Kimmel is a pedo. He never said anything like that. However, irrespective of that, Jimmy Kimmel still is having some sort of meltdown and he's freaking out saying, how dare you call me this? It's such a big deal, right? So Jimmy Kimmel, he responded with his own little segment on Jimmy Kimmel Live. And I can't show all of it, but I can show a part of it. Take a look.
You know, when you hear a guy who won a Super Bowl and did all the State Farm commercials say something like this, a lot of people believe it. I guess believes one of two things. Either he actually believes my name was going to be on the list, which is insane, or the more likely scenario is he doesn't actually believe that. He just said it because he's mad at me for making fun of his top knot and his lies about being vaccinated. Might be time to revisit that concussion protocol, Aaron. So he saw that, and maybe to retaliate, he decided to insinuate that I am a before. Aaron Rodgers has a very high opinion of himself because he had success on the football field. He believes himself to be an extraordinary being. He genuinely thinks that because God gave him the ability to throw a ball, he's smarter than everyone else. The idea that his brain is just average is unfathomable to him. Somehow he knows more about science than scientists. A guy who went to community college, then got into Cal on a football scholarship and didn't graduate, someone who never spent a minute studying the human body, is an expert in the field of immunology. He just put on a magic helmet, and that G made him a genius. Aaron got 2 A's on his report card. They were both in the word Aaron, okay?
Jimmy Kimmel literally insults. He's had a history of insulting Rodgers. And he did a whole segment insulting him again. He insulted him on Twitter. He's having this big old Twitter meltdown. So essentially, Jimmy just feels like he can basically just insult and throw all these accusations out, insult his intelligence, call him anti-vaxxer, do all of these different things. It was just no repercussion. Like, you just got to stand there and just get essentially hit in the face, right? But by whatever little labels and nonsense that you want to say. But then Aaron Rodgers says something that insinuates something about the island, right? Then all of a sudden it's like clutching his pearls. It's like, how dare you? This guy's an idiot. I cannot stand people like this. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't even have like his history, for crying out loud. He was on the Man Show.
They are network censors nonetheless, and one of the things they've told us is we cannot show an entire ass. We were actually told we could show up to 3/4 of one. That's why we have developed 3/4 short.
For those of y'all who know anything about the Man Show, this was a very unsavory show. And now all of a sudden, Jimmy Kimmel, he thinks he's on some position of moral high ground. Aaron Rodgers, was playing football. Jimmy Kimmel's watching girls jump on trampolines. And he tries to act like he's a smart one. And then, not to mention, he's questioning their career. He's talking about, oh, you just throw a football. I'm like, Jimmy, you just stand up there and read a teleprompter. You don't even write your own jokes. Are you serious? You're trying to compare your legacy to Rodgers' legacy? I'm not even sure if Jimmy Kimmel's even a household name, but a lot of people know Aaron Rodgers. One of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. So I got to react real quick to Aaron Rodgers going in. He went into a lot of stuff in this clip, and he's essentially not letting Jimmy Kimmel have the last word here. Jimmy's over here demanding this apology and all this stuff. Jimmy, you don't deserve an apology. You never apologized when you said people who didn't get vaxxed should just die if they go to the hospital. You never apologized for that.
Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
I'm waiting, Jimmy. Without further ado, let's see what Aaron Rodgers has to say about this.
Then we fast forward to this last week, right? And I said that a lot of people, and I'm quoting myself here, a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't come out. End quote. That's what I said. That's the entire quote. Okay? I was referring to the fact that if there is a list, which again, this hasn't come out yet, this was just a deposition, right? And there are names on it, then that would be the second time that a soft brain junior college student, wacko, anti-vax, anti-Semite, purveyor, spreader of misinformation, conspiracy theorist, MAGA, whatever other things have been said by him and other people in the media would be right twice. Now, let me just say that is the truth, number one. Number two, I totally understand how serious an allegation of pedophilia would be. So for him to be upset about that, I get it. Did you watch the quote? Because that's exactly what I said. Verbatim what I said on the show. Okay? I'm not stupid enough, even though you think I'm an idiot, and you made a lot of comments about my intelligence. But
Which you don't got, Jimmy Kimmel of all people don't got no business doing. I would love to have a debate or an IQ test against this guy. Love it. Because what he loves to do, he basically wants the ability, he basically wants to freely attack every dang day. However, I don't know how often Jimmy Kimmel Live comes on, but he wants to attack consistently whoever the heck he wants, and he doesn't want you to do a damn thing about it. He wants you to just sit there and just look dumb while he smears you. But no, you can't do it back, because now you're endangering him and his family. That's what this fool is saying. He really needs to get bent at this point. I haven't liked Jimmy Kimmel in years, and he is not making it look any better going on some sort of battle against Aaron Rodgers of all people. This is a strange battle to pick, and I don't think it's making you look good.
I'm not stupid enough to accuse you of that with absolutely zero evidence, concrete evidence. That's ridiculous. So I'm glad, and I think we can agree on something, is that one, those crimes are heinous, and two, I'm glad you're on the list, because those who are on the list, and this is what I think we can agree on, that at minimum there should be an inquiry into their involvement, especially if they went to the island, and at maximum there should be an investigation into it. So I hope that you'll give the same type of energy to these heinous crimes when they do come out, and the names do come out, and there is an inquiry into it, that you gave to other subjects that I actually mentioned that you spent a lot of time working on. So
there's no way that he's gonna do that. he wants to do whatever he wants to do. Like, this dude, Kimmel, was focused heavy on anything related to the C virus and anti-vax and all of this stuff. He was going heavy on this subject and was hammering Aaron Rodgers along with all kinds of people and basically licking Fauci's balls. This is pretty much what he was doing. And then he wants to turn around and say, like, oh, how dare Aaron Rodgers make this comment? It's like, dude, please shut the heck up, man. Like, seriously, you're acting like a freaking spoiled brat. I've never seen a grown man act like such a little P word. Like, shout out to freaking Van Jones. Like, these two need to link up so they could just have crying sessions together. Like, this is getting to the point of being ridiculous. You could have let Aaron say that one little comment, and if people took it out of context and wanted to feel some type of way about it, it's like, who cares? But you what you're not about to do is sit up here and then just punch down on him, and then you just expect him never to defend himself, never to say anything back. Like, dude, get a grip.
Oh, I'd like to put this to bed to move forward. I don't understand, to just finish this up. I do understand. But I don't understand a Mike Voss comment because he didn't help out either. And I'm going to quote Mike Voss. He said, "Aaron made a dumb and factually incorrect joke about Jimmy Kimmel. It should never have happened. We all realized that in the moment." Mike, you're not helping. You're not helping because I just read.
I agree. I mean, when you apologize for something, that's you admitting that you were in the wrong. And Aaron Rodgers didn't do anything wrong. So I agree. This guy should not have made an apology on Aaron Rodgers' behalf. Like, why? That's dumb. And you're almost like making it seem like Aaron Rodgers himself is admitting that he did something and he's guilty of something. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I guess the smearing had already started. But the thing is, you don't apologize to these people because it never works out in your favor. These people don't even accept apologies to them begin with. So I don't even understand why you even bother doing it. If you actually do something wrong, you might as well just roll with it because your apology is not going to help you at the end of the day. They're just going to use that and weaponize it like, oh yeah, see, he's guilty. Get this mother effer out of here. That's how these people operate. They're not going to have any type of like mercy or feel like, oh, well, I guess he said he's sorry. When's the last time y'all see that work out? Let's keep going.
Earlier, exactly what I said. So, and this is the game plan of the media, and this is what they do. They try and cancel. And it's not just me. It's nowhere near just me. I mean, if you look at all the different people who've been censored from the internet especially during the canceling that went on, the censorship, using the government to try and censor people that happened. And if that doesn't work, then they go to name calling. I mentioned a lot of the names that I've been called, and they don't stick because I'm not anti-vax. I'm interested in informed consent and things that are in the best interest of my body. I'm not a MAGA. I've never had any affiliation with anybody associated with that movement, right? Which is okay if you are, though. Like, there's different opinions all over the place, right? If you're that's your ideology, that's fine. I'm not a super political person, okay? Do whatever you want. Conspiracy theorists, that's fine. Because if you look at the track record of conspiracy theorists in the last few years, they've been right about a lot of things. So I don't care about that one. Anti-Semite, that was called, I mean, that's just like, this is their game plan. They use these words to cancel people, and they went and ran with this because it's the crazy anti-vaxxer wacko again, talking about, accusing somebody of being a pedophile. Like, of course, this is the game plan that they use. Incorrect, but that's the environment that we're in. There's a lot of people who have been captured by various, entities, government entities, whether we're talking about pharmaceutical industrial complex or whether we're talking about believing that the government has a best interest in mind and we're puppeting, various narratives. In the end, if you are not someone whose opinion aligns with the mainstream narrative, this is what they're going to do. I still, in the end, to sum this up, listen, I still haven't popped a bottle because there hasn't been any list that's come out. And I'm glad that Jimmy is not on the list. I really am. And I don't think he's the P word. And
Look, I think he's a P word, just a different type of P word. Y'all know which one I'm talking about, the thing between a woman's legs.
You know, I think it's impressive that a man who went to Arizona State and has 10 joke writers can read off a prompter. So, you know, my education at JUCO and my 3 semesters at Cal that I'm very proud of has worked out for me, and I'm glad to see it's worked out for him as well. So I wish him the best. Again, I don't give a shit what he says about me.
The thing here that is extremely hypocritical is literally in that same segment where Kimmel is saying that, oh, you can't make wild accusations like that. Then he literally accuses Trump of the exact same thing.
By the way, are you looking for someone who actually was a friend of Jeffrey, who called him a terrific guy and bragged about his affinity for younger women? I have very good news, hunters. I found one for you. There you go. Just 2 fun guys checking out the ladies. Nothing unsavory there.
Just because Trump met at one particular point and happened to be on camera with him back in 1992, all of a sudden now Jimmy Kimmel thinks it's okay to make some sort of insinuation or accusation as it relates to Trump when they weren't even friends. Okay, there's a decent amount of evidence to indicate that Trump doesn't really have anything to do with the exception of this one video. So imagine if I go to an event, or imagine anybody, just think logically, because a lot of people don't do this. Imagine if I go to an event and I'm hanging out with somebody one time and I haven't seen them for 30 years. And then people are like, well, you seem like you're pretty buddy to me. Like, yeah, you know, you're the P word. I'm thinking, no, that doesn't make any sense. It's like I don't even damn remember if it's that long ago. You see how like idiotic this is when you really put some thought into it? And Jimmy Kimmel, how hypocritical he is. He doesn't care about any of the ramifications behind all of the stuff he called Rodgers. Rodgers went through all these different things that he said, like being a wacko and anti-vaxxer and he's dumb and, you know, they need to check the concussion protocol and all of this stuff. See how insulting this dude is, and all of a sudden he wants to just throw a fit, clutching his pearls again. Ah, Aaron, how could you? This dude is seriously a joke, and I don't think it's in the way that he originally intended. Jimmy Kimmel was not even funny. He never really was. I'm surprised. How the hell do you level up from working on something like The Man Show? This dude's career should have ended a long time ago. At this point, Jimmy, I don't think that it behooves you to continue on this crusade against Aaron Rodgers, much less trying to take some sort of high road as if you were right about the C virus, because virtually everything that the government and Fauci told us about that and you ended up being wrong. Who's spreading misinformation now? Who's the wacko now? You go sit down, shut up, stop acting like you're smarter than everybody because you're a comedian. The audacity of a comedian trying to act like you're smarter than other people is just astounding. And acting like, oh, you're not a doctor. Well, are you? Show me your medical license. What state are you authorized to practice in? What state or states? Did you go to medical school, Jimmy? Last I checked, we all could talk to a doctor and get advice. And every doctor never even agreed about the stuff related to the C virus. So what the hell are you talking about? We know who the real wacko with mental issues is. It's the Trump deranged Jimmy Kimmel. It's simple as that. Anybody who's been watching this dude for all these years knows that this dude his brain is gone if he ever had one in his head to begin with. And essentially, he's become nothing more than a far leftist Democrat puppet. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.